What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a great day. Alrighty. Um, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world. It's sad that we have to keep arguing and defending and explaining. Um, you know, this whole thing about AI and the use and you know why it shouldn't be allowed in its current form, of course. Um, excuse me. Um, I mean, it's truly, man, it's so because it's one of those unique things, that doesn't just affect artists, comic artists. You know, um, it's one of those things that uh, it affects what's up, Corey. It affects musicians. It affects actors. I mean, with the way AI is now, it's something that affects across the board from people creating, videos of people's likenesses and voices and being able to post that. Uh, but it's a strange thing that people are more concerned about saving a buck because you got people right now that are trying to do this, you know, backhanded backing. They constantly try to compare it to something else in the industry. They, 1 minute they were trying to compare it to, they were saying that they were trying to say how it wasn't, stealing. Okay, then when that got proven that it was actually stealing people's artwork, scraping the internet to fill their databases. Then they went into their next defense when that got nullified. They couldn't use that defense anymore. Then they went into the defense of of oh well you can turn that feature off on the AI app and it won't pull from like the internet database, which is a straight up lie. That's not a feature on any of them that we've been able to find. So then when that got kind of like shot down as their excuse for using said apps, then they went into the argument. Oh well, it's no different than when digital came out. People were up in arms about digital too. Again, another one of those things. It's not the same thing. Digital still has to be created. It's not scraping the internet for other people's stuff. Now, are there some people that probably pull images from the internet? Yes, we've caught those people. We've seen that happen. People are still going to try to cut corners. But it's not the same in comparison. You can't say a digital artist is the same as an AI generated image. It's not. It's not even, on the same level. So that was their argument for a little bit to defend its use. And then everyone shot that down. Then they tried to compare it, to people using light boxes, to do portraits or whatever. And if you're an artist and you can draw that stuff and you're using light box as a tool, that's a different ballgame. Now, if you can't draw for shit, your art looks like stickman, terrible crap, and mediocre art in general. And all of a sudden you're doing these portraits. Yeah, there's a little bit of a red flag there, but there's always going to be people that abuse the system, the tools. But they still got to do the lighting. They still got to do the shadows. They still got to do the texturing. They still got to do all that. And in order to turn just a line structure of someone's face, where it's just the simple lines with their proportions and their eyes in the right place, etc. If they don't have the talent to create the shadow, the lighting, the texturing, it'll never become a portrait. It'll just be this weird line drawing thing with some shitty ass, shading added to it. So they still have to learn that. They still have to do that. So again, that's separate. So once that got shot down, they couldn't compare it to that. So now their new argument, their new defense for using AI is going, oh, well, it's no different than people that draw Wolverine or draw Batman or draw any of these IPs that belong to these other companies and then sell those commissions or even make prints of some of it and sell those prints. That's not the same thing again, because those companies know we do this and they allow us to do this, by being very cool. Could they, draw a line in the sand and say, no, you can't do it? Of course they can, because by law they can. But by it being their IPs, their property, they can choose to allow or not allow that, to take place. And they choose to allow it because it helps push the industry. I mean, they are technically getting free publicity by us drawing these characters, etc. Now, I know some of you will be like, oh, well, these characters already have publicity. Surprisingly enough, that is true, but surprisingly enough, occasionally you catch someone that didn't know something about a certain character and then they go buy the books. I mean, I have personally had that happen at many cons because of the amount of Bat Who Laughs I draw, where people go, who the hell is that? And I explain to them who the Bat Who Laughs is and what storyline they came from, what book they could go purchase to get the storyline. And they had no clue who that character was, because maybe they were a hardcore Marvel fan, or maybe they were a hardcore Image fan or independent fan, and they didn't know who that character was. And, and I'd tell them, oh, hey, you can go buy it. It's Dark Knight's Metal. You can get the individual books, or you can go buy the trade paperback that's out now. Oh, I'm going to get that as soon as I get back home. Like, that's sales, So that's why the companies allow that. So if you want to use AI art, knock yourself out. Use the shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of having the argument about it. And because at this point, it is not, you can't grasp the concept of why it's wrong. That we've explained it 1,000 damn times at this point, and so is everyone else. At this point, you're blatantly ignoring it, and you're just trying to justify the use of it because you lack the talent to do what we do, and you want to be able to do it, and you have your own comic, but you lack the talent to draw covers, and you don't want to hire someone to do it, so you just want to type some words in an AI generator, slap it on your damn book that somebody already drew for you, and call it a day. Which in my opinion is a bit of a disrespect for the people who drew your interior pages. So, have some balls, say, I don't give a shit about the reasons, I'm going to use it, and have a good day, because the companies allow us to draw these characters, again, because it helps push the industry. Is it on the books that you're not supposed to draw that stuff without contracted? to that company? Yes, 100%. But as it being their IPs, they can choose to allow it, and they do. I've had people who work for Marvel and DC both, and actually Image Comics, who work for those companies, who stopped at my tables at cons before, and gave me compliments about the artwork on my wall, on my print wall. Never got offended, never got pissy, never did shit, and have a good day and walked on. They've done that to many artists. I mean, there's tons of super well-named pros who are drawing characters at cons that they're not contracted to draw, for fans, for commissions and stuff like that. So that argument's a bullshit argument. You can let that one go too. At this point, there's no justifying it. Either do it or don't do it. But either way, have the balls to say it. I mean, it's sad that people have to keep explaining this, and I'm done explaining it. Like, this will be, other than talking about the Senate hearing and stuff like that with other artists and creators, I'm not doing any more, back and forth on anybody's posts about AI. If you want to use it, use it. Have the balls to say it. Stop trying to be, sleight of hand with it and, oh, I'm not for AI. I'm not here to, I'm totally against it, but here, let me explain why it should be okay. Just have the balls, and roll on, because I mean, even I can respect that. If you're going to sit here, even though I think AI is thievery, and it is thievery, it's straight up theft in its current form. Again, like with the companies who allow us to draw these IP characters and make a living off of it and it helps supporting the Comic-Cons, and it helps support the industry. They get that, they understand that, but they're making a conscious choice to allow us to do it. Whereas with AI and how it's just scraped the internet and opted in every damn body with this ask for permission, ask for forgiveness later mentality, they didn't get anyone's permission. No one had the choice to say, hey, no, let's not do this. I mean, in general, whether you're an indie creator or a mainstream company, you telling artists not to draw your IPs, in the form of commissions or even maybe a handful of prints on their wall, you're kind of silly for that. That's free publicity. That's even as an indie creator. Like, I've had people contact me, hey, can I draw Psycho Sal? If somebody wants a commission, can I do one? If somebody wants a sketch cover, what's up, Keith? Can I do one? Yeah, that too, Nita. Nita, you want to come on the show this morning? Damn it, I need other people's feedback and opinions on this shit, not just mine. But anyway, I know it's spur of the moment. Like, I'm not going to have time to do the video later today. I'm slammed today. So I want to do it this morning before I got started with my day. Because, like, that's the current thing. They want to argue, oh, it's no different than drawing Wolverine. It's no different than drawing Batman, and then selling a print of it. And it's completely different. Like I said, that's the key difference. They know about it. They choose to allow us, whereas we never heard of AI until it happened. And we were already opted in. We were already forced to accept it. That's not how it's worked with the other stuff. It's just one of those things. And like, the only choice you have now is to be opted out. But you got to stop with the bullshit. Okay. If you want to use it, use it. I don't give a shit. I think it's shady. I think it's shitty. I think it says a lot to me about how you are as who you are as a person. If you're using it in its current form with the thievery that's been proven, and without anyone having the opportunity to opt in or opt out from the get-go, they just blatantly stole it. And now the database is full of billions of pieces of art that there's no way to get rid of. Yeah, exactly. That's my point to it. Like, with the companies, they know that this has always taken place. This has always been a thing since Comic-Cons ever came along. There were people selling characters, and they understand it pushed in. Because here's the thing. If you had a Comic-Con where all the artists at that Comic-Con could only draw their personal IPs, you would not have a Comic-Con. Do you guys not grasp the concept of that? That when it comes to the superstars, the big names in the comic community, and the actors that portray the voice actors of the movies, they only make up about 5 to 10% of a Comic-Con building. The rest of the people there are vendors and artists, regular Joe Blow artists. That's what makes up 90% of your Comic-Con experience is vendors paying for booths. It's artists and creators paying for tables. That's what makes your Comic-Con possible. And in essence, pushing the industry. You would not have Comic-Cons if that was the place. Because in all honesty, even though I do make money off of Psycho Sal, people buy my books, people order commissions of him, but mostly it's just buying the books. If I showed up to a con, or any other artist that showed up to a con, and we're not contracted with Marvel or contracted with DC or Image or et cetera, et cetera. What's up, James? What's up, Amy? And we showed up to our table, and the only thing we could have on our table was just our IP individual stuff. We couldn't make there's no way. People don't know who we are. People don't know who Psycho Sal is for the most part. So, yeah, I'll get a handful of people to come through that I could sell my book to, but I guarantee you it probably wouldn't be enough money to pay for the trip, which means everyone would quit going. People want to buy Batman. They want to buy prints. Are a huge seller at Comic-Cons, hence making it possible for us to make money. Do I sell exclusives that I've done for companies? I've been contracted, to do retailer exclusives for Image Comics, Dynamite Comics, et cetera, et cetera. And I have those exclusives on my table. Do I sell shit tons of those books at every con? No, I don't. I sell some. Do I sell shit tons of Psycho Sal? Not shit tons, but I sell a good bit. The majority of stuff at my table and every other artist table that does it, the majority of stuff that sell at their table are prints, which allow us to make the money to come back to a different show, which allows us to pay a show, which allows a Comic-Con to take place. It is not the superstars at the top of the barrel and the voice actors and actors that make your con possible. They're just an added feature. If you took away every single vendor, if you took away every single artist and creator that's in the aisles that paid to be there, that financially made your Comic-Con possible in the first place to get you through the door, you would not have a Comic-Con. Period. That's where they get the majority of their money to pay those superstars to be there at that show. That's where they get the majority. Why do you think ticket sales go on immediately that the last show was over? I mean, Jesus Christ, almost every show I've ever been to, tickets, as soon as I got home from a con, I see a post from the Comic-Con saying ticket sales for next year here's our dates, ticket sales on sale now. Why do you think that happens? Because they need your money coming in immediately. And then why do you think on the weekend that we're at the show, they're already hitting us up to pay for our tables for next year? Because it's money needed now. Okay? So that's why that goes that way. So we push the industry. That's how it's worked forever. That's why the companies allow us to draw these IP characters and why we're allowed to sell. Now, if you get stupid and you decide you want to slap up, even though you drew the picture of Batman or Spider-Man and you slap it on 1,000 damn t-shirts, guess what? You're about to get a cease and desist letter. But we don't print thousands upon thousands of one image. We print a handful of them, and then we grow as artists and we create something new because we're constantly creating, and boom, there you go. The old Batman print rotates out and you put in a new Batman print of a different art design. So it's never a case of, mass printing. You know what I'm saying? So even on our prints, we don't mass print. So, and we're damn sure not slinging our shit on t-shirts and mugs and all this other shit. So again, you can stop trying to justify the use of AI, because every time you come up with an excuse of why it should be allowed and why it's the same as so-and-so, we shoot it down and we prove you wrong. So just stop. Just go, you know what? Screw it. I use AI. People can people can like it or don't like it. How the balls, just how the balls to do one or the other. I'm done. Like Amy says, people need to, and I agree that y'all think we're joking about this hard line in the sand. In AI's current form, it's a hard line in the sand because no one was given the opportunity to opt in or opt out from the get-go. And at this point, billions of images, has been collected by their data scrapes. Yeah, I mean it's just one of those things. I'm not having the argument no more. I don't have time, because at this point I'm almost at level where I'm just going to start calling people stupid, because we've explained why AI shouldn't be allowed in its current form, and there's no way in hell that people can't grasp that. So at this point, this whole I'm not promoting AI. I'm totally against it. But isn't it the same as this? Isn't it just like this? No, stop being a bitch, because that's what you're doing when you make those comments. When you make them repeatedly, making it once, okay, you may not understand, you may not be educated on it. Let us educate you. And then when we explain to you why it's not the same as digital creators, why it's not the same as drawing IP characters, why it's not the same for this, that, or the other, and you still keep making those same statements, now you're showing us that you actually don't give a shit about it. You want to justify the use of it so you can use it. That's how it works after that point. Because first time, sure, you may not know, you may not understand it. We'll explain it to you, and now you're informed. But when you keep saying the same shit, well, isn't it like this? Every time we shoot down your like this comments and you change it to, well, isn't it like this? That shows us that you're not trying to learn, you're not trying to understand, and you're not with us. And like I said, I'm done having that argument. What's up, Sherry? I'm done with it. I'm not having the argument anymore. Don't tag me on the shit. I don't give a shit. You either use it or you don't use it. But I'm told you guys, it's a hard line in the sand. I don't give a shit what facet you fit into this industry. You're either with us or you're against us with AI in its current form. Until they figure out a way to, fix it, it's a no for me. And I'm not going to work with you if you use it. I'm not going to promote you. You're not going to be on my friends list, which, don't be wrong, I understand that don't mean shit. Oh, William won't let me on his friend. I get that. But my point is, I don't want to be associated with you because in its current form, it's theft. And I'm not going to be associated with someone who's using theft to sell their product while lying to the fan base that it's not AI. When we know it is, we can tell it is. There's, just like the guy with the White Widow and the chick on the Whatnot, whatever her name was, that's lying, straight up lying to people saying it's not AI. Just like, these other people that's been caught doing it recently. That's straight. If you're lying to fans, that tells me a shitload about who you are as a person. You're lying to the very people that make your creative life possible. And that tells me that you are not above lying about anything else. Oh, it's true. And like I said, now to be fair, sadly, the majority of the audience, the majority of fans, they don't know what AI is, like what it looks like compared to digital art, you know. I mean, that's why we keep making posts, you know. That's why it's so important for you guys as fans to share those posts. When Anna makes a post showing you examples of AI covers and what to look for, or Sean when he's doing it, or myself, that's why it's so damn important for you as a retailer, you as a flipper online, you as a fan, you as another artist. You have to be sharing out that information, because knowledge is power. And keeping full transparency and showing fans what to look for, so there's no confusion between, you know, digital art versus, you know, AI art. I mean, it's easy to tell traditional. You know, it's easy to look at my art, you know, and when it's digitally colored and going, oh, okay, you know, yeah, that's Williams art, that's digitally colored. Then someone who might be, and don't get me wrong, some of that could be tricking you up too. You know, but it's real hard to start telling the difference between true digital and AI, because a lot of people in the digital world use ZBrush and they use 3D modeling to create their characters. They use, you know, stuff like SketchUp Pro to do the background stuff, line work, so everything's real pristine and precise, and because it's, you know, it's being done in a computer world. But you get the 3D modeling, you know, and everything with ZBrush, etc. And some of that can get real close. So you need to know what to look for. So you're not, like Ronald just said, you know, so you're not, you know, paying way overpriced for books, because the reason books are priced the way they are is because of the work that went into it. It's paying the cover artists what they cost, the colorists, the letterers, the inkers, the pencilers, the writers, everything. That's why a book is priced at a certain price, because of everything that went into it. And if it's being generated by AI, you should not be paying expensive prices for a book. Yeah, that's true too, Nita. If you can't tell, if you don't know, post a damn picture and ask. Because if someone gets pissy about that, oh well, you know, just ask. You don't even have to post it if you don't want to. Send a message. Hell, even Sean and Anna both have made the statements that if you see something and you're unsure about it, send them a picture and they'll let you know whether it's, you know, whether it's AI or whether it's you know, like 3D modeling style art or something. Not to mention there's apps out now. You know, there's programs out now that you can load the image into and find out if it's AI. Now you can't, you know, it's got to be like a proper image of it. You know, you can't take a screenshot of something and set it in there. You know, you got to have an actual picture of it. But you know, but yeah, you know, I mean, so there's ways to figure it out. But like I said, a lot of this is going to fall on you guys' back too. It can't just be me or Sean or Anna or these few others that constantly speak up about it. You guys have got to start sharing out this content and stuff and trying to let people know what's up. Yeah, exactly. Like James had one he wasn't sure of. And we're pretty sure that one's 3D modeling style art. So yeah, the 3D modeling style art, that's the one that's going to be the real tough one. Like I said, this is the last conversation of explaining this shit. I'm done after this. I'm washed my hands of it completely, because people are just going to continue to justify it. You know, and every time we shoot down, you know, every time they try to give a reason, we shoot it down. You know, myself and all the other folks, we shoot it down. And why? No, that's not the same thing. Because like someone made a post earlier talking about that you know, when they do sketch cards for Tops and Upper Deck, etc., how they're told that they can't share that fan art and stuff on their social media, that they'll be removed from doing projects, and how that's no different than us drawing IPs, and I can't draw a line in the sand when I'm saying it's okay to draw IP characters. But yet he didn't bother to tell the whole story. I've done sketch cards for those companies. I know the contracts. I have a copy of the contract in my desk right now where I print out all contracts. I don't just sign them online and go, awesome. I print the shit out and I read them. And it does say that during the creative process, during the time you're drawing the sketch cards, you can't share them, you can't post them, you can't promote them, you can't do anything revealing what you're drawing. And you can't do it once you ship them back to the company. Like once you're done drawing them and you ship them, you still can't reveal them. You have to wait until they approve the cards, and they'll give you a date for when you can reveal the cards. See, he left that part out. Not sure why, but he left that part out. So yes, it's true. They say you can't show this fan art. You can't promote it. You can't post it. We scan the social medias. If we see it, you won't be allowed to work on future projects. You see how when you don't put all the words in there, it sounds different. Like that sounds like you can't ever show your fan art of it. It's not the same thing. That you can post it once they give you the go ahead. Then you can post social media. Your APs that you got for doing the work, your AP sketch cards, your blank sketch cards that you're allowed to sell once they give you the go ahead. Once they've approved your cards, you can share it. And then you can only share the cards they approve. It is what it is. But they do allow you to share said art once they have them back. Once they have them processed and they have approved them, then they will tell you when you can share it. So let's put all the information in there when you make these posts, okay? Because half-assed information is half-assed. So put it all, because you can do it. And once I get approval, I can sell my APs and show that fan art that I drew on it. Give all the damn information. Yeah, the only damn thing sad about sketch cards is the shit ass money they pay you to do them. And then and they don't pay you for the ones they don't approve. That's what's shitty. Because the contracted part about when you can reveal the cards, that's no different than what we have when we hire someone to do a cover art. When we hire you to draw, same thing with the companies. When you're hired to draw a cover, you can't reveal that cover until they tell you can. Same thing in the indie world with us. When you draw a cover for our book, you're not allowed to show that artwork until we give you permission to, which is usually right when the Kickstarter is dropping. So that's normal. But yet using it in a description where you go, oh, they said we can't reveal this fan art. If we do, that's copyright infringement and we won't get to work with the companies again. That is not whole truth. That is a picked out part of the conversation. Because again, you can reveal that shit once they tell you can. So that's an incorrect or not incorrect statement, but it's a half statement. They didn't give the rest of the information. They're trying to make it out like, oh, yeah, even when you draw for these companies, they won't allow you to post the images and stuff because, that's copyright bullshit. They do allow it once they give you permission and they got everything approved of what they're going to use. Then they'll tell you, okay, now the set goes on sale at so-and-so, and you can share at that time. So don't give no half-ass truths, okay? Give it all, or don't say shit. But you sitting here trying to do this holier than like weird shit of I can't draw a line in the sand because so-and-so said this. Bullshit. That's just say you want to use AI and be done with it. Just have the balls. That's all really at this point. That's all anybody really gives a shit, because we can't put the genie back in the bottle. The data's collected too much information. All of our art is in there somewhere. Even us lowly, creatives and us, us lowly new artists. Our shit's in there too, because it doesn't discriminate. It scraped the entire damn internet with their database. So anything and everything that's ever been posted, is in that damn thing. So that's labeled as, comic related or labeled as art related or whatever the hell it is. So there's no putting the genie back in the bottle for sure. There's no way to even opt out at this point. And that's what people are pissed off about. We were never given the choice to opt in. And there's no damn way to opt out now because all the data is there. The only chance in hell you would have is if they were truly, legitimately going in and just gutted their entire database and started from scratch right now. And the only images they could use were free to use stuff, stock stuff, things that, because there's a lot of that floating around. No matter what type of art genre it is, there's lots of, free to use stuff floating around that excuse me, that fit into that format. But not so much probably on the comic side of it. Probably some floating around. Oh yeah, sure. Here's my shit, free to use it. Because I've seen, excuse me. Sorry about that. Because I've seen artists make posts where they go, hey, here's a picture of so-and-so I drew. Feel free to color it, do whatever you want to with it. Like I've seen that, but that still doesn't make it IP, free, non-copyright. It's, so there, there's not going to be a lot of that, which is why they never asked that from the get-go. But that's the only way you would have to do it, be able to do it now. You would have to gut the complete system, and then people would have to opt in. It cannot be, oh, well, you tag your art as opted out and we won't use it. No, it can't be that shit. Like that senator said, it might be better, make better sense if people had to opt in. Just like that artist that was on that event said, on that Senate hearing said too. Like that's the way it would have to be. Artists would have to opt in. It cannot be an opt-out thing because not everyone knows how to do that. Not everyone will remember to do that on every single piece of art they create. And we shouldn't have to. It should be an opt-in scenario. What's up, Albert? But but yeah, just like I said, at this point, just have the balls. Just have the balls to say, you know what? Hey, I'm going to use AI. I can't draw for shit, or I'm too damn broke to pay people, and I'm too damn terrible with money to save my money to pay someone a proper wage to create for me. So I'm just going to use AI and cut corners, and I don't give a shit. Like, just have the balls to say it. Because like I said, at this point, that's all people want right now is just transparency. Give fans the opportunity to make the decision about whether they want to buy your AI generated bullshit or not. Excuse me, sorry. So, but you just stop. Just stop with the, isn't it like this? Hey, I was dirt ass poor, so I don't give a shit. I know what it's like to have to save my money to do anything. And that's what they need to learn how to do. Because I guarantee you, they ain't nowhere near as poor as I was or what some people are. Because first off, if you poor, you ain't making comics no way. So people can reality check that shit right out the gate. So earn it. If you need an artist, stop begging people for freebies. Stop begging people to do shit at super discounted prices for your fake ass exposure you don't have. And save up your allowance till you got enough and then pay somebody. It's not hard. Just save your money. Stop blowing the shit on fast food and shit. Stop blowing the shit on cigarettes and alcohol or whatever else habits you might have. Stop blowing the shit on whatever it is you're blowing it on. Save your allowance and pay somebody. Because the other thing too is, you guys let me talk to the indie community for a second, because that's the biggest thing I'm a part of. Nobody knows who the hell your book is. Okay, let's just be honest. Nobody knows who the fuck Psycho Sal is. But even Psycho Sal probably has more traction than some of the people floating around indie. It just is what it is. That's not me trying to have an ego. That's just me stating fact compared to the amount of reorders and books we sell. There's a lot of other books that fit into that also. There's a shitload of, other books floating around. But for the most part, people still have no clue who I am, who Psycho Sal is. So having other artists work on your project and saving your money to pay those artists, whether they're other indie creators or indie artists rather, or whether they're some of the bigger names in the companies, saving your money and paying them helps you. Excuse me. It helps you because it helps get more eyes on your work. So like when I hire, these artists to do covers for Psycho Sal, I get tapped into their fan base who may not have ever had a clue who I was. Because let's be honest, most artists are not sharing other artists. They're just not. So, so they're not being exposed to me or any other artist on their personal Facebook pages or their groups because they don't promote other artists. They don't share. They talk to community shit, but let's just be honest. They don't really promote other people. There's only a few, handfuls in the industry that don't mind cross promoting or sharing other people's achievements, etc. But for the most part, 98% of the time, it doesn't happen. So, but when we hire them to do a cover for us, and then they share that cover and that Kickstarter out to their platforms, at that point, now there's fans being exposed to our books, and we create new fans. That's why you hire someone to do covers for your Kickstarter, because it generates fans for your book that no one probably had a clue who you were, that had no clue what your book was about. Oh yeah, most don't give a shit about the community. I've learned that one, sadly, big time. People I've promoted, people I've done covers for, people I've done exclusives for, hasn't shared shit else I've done that didn't have anything to do with them. Yeah, most don't give a shit about the community. It just is what it is. And that's exactly true. That's why groups are dying. Because even in groups, even in my own group, sadly, like one of my groups has over like 1,700 people in it. There's like 10 that engage. I did a giveaway not too long ago in my group, and like 12 people, all they had to do was comment hi on the post. That's it. Just hi. And it was only like 12 or 14 or 15 people that did it in that particular group out of 700. Then the other group, now mind you, this wasn't a case of nobody saw it. Like we can see who sees the post. That thing had 240 plus people that viewed it, which is still odd out of, 600, 700 people, that only 200 and something took the time to even look at the post. But out of the people the 200 plus that looked at the post, only 14, 15 people commented hi to win a giveaway. This whole thing is a weird thing to me. Now, like I said, I get that you can't see everything all the time. You can't share everything all the time. Hell, I'm not on Facebook very much, just like most of you guys aren't really on Facebook very much. You're on there long enough to post something, you got to get out there and you're gone. We're not really sitting around surfing it. But most of the community, fans and other people, they are kind of surfing the internet, or surfing Facebook to a degree. But I mean, shit, there's a giveaway going on right now. There's a giveaway in the private group, Art of William Russell, that has a $120 giveaway, an actual sketch, head sketch, I believe is what it is, $120 value. And I think there's like 10 people that's commented on that post, maybe 20 at the most. But when I look at the numbers, it's shit tons of people have seen the post. How the hell do you not want a free giveaway? You see how weird? So the community as a whole is kind of odd. But then you got these people who constantly preach this community shit and uplifting one another and sharing the platforms and et cetera, et cetera. And they don't. There's Kickstarters I shared out that have not shared my Kickstarters. There's retailers I've done covers for and made them money that hasn't shared my Kickstarter. And I don't give a shit whether they get mad at me for saying it or not, because I share their shit. I talk about their stores. I talk about their online selling. Now, I don't talk about it all the time, but I do mention it when people ask me questions, or I'm on the topic of, cool shops and cool flippers and cool sellers, etc. All right, later, Nita. Yeah, I always forget you guys do a show first thing in the morning too. So, I mean, I get that. I don't understand how the community is the way it is. It just is. And I don't think anybody's doing it for malice. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I don't think people think about sharing. It's kind of like with YouTube. Think about how many YouTube videos you look at, and a lot of them you probably watch multiple videos for the people. Like, you go back and watch their videos, but you never hit the subscribe button. I'm guilty of that one. There's a lot of people, like, I try to remember it when I think about it. Oh shit, let me subscribe, because that's where they make their money, but yeah, I've got moments where I'll watch certain people's YouTube videos while I'm working, and I'll watch, their channel on a semi-regular basis, and I forget to subscribe. You just don't think about it. And I think that's what a lot of it is with this too, is people, what's up, Michael? People don't think about sharing content. They look at it, they give it a thumbs up sometimes, maybe even a comment, but they don't think about sharing. It's just one of those things. Like I said, I don't think for the most part it's people being malice. I just think they don't think about it. So, I mean, so yeah, so you got to keep that in mind. The reason you want to hire people to do covers for your book is because you get to tap into their fan base also. So that if you start as an indie creator, start slapping AIs, yeah, you're going to save a little bit of money by not paying some, artist to do a cover, but you're not going to be collecting any fan base. Now you're 100% solely depending on whatever fans you may already have, and hoping that they might share something you did to collect someone else. So it's a narrow way of thinking. In the long run, it's going to hurt you. The same with a retailer. The reason retailers hire artists is to tap into their fan base also. It's always about collecting more fans. That's what everything's about. Same thing with the same reason I share some people's content sometimes. Now, I don't share all the time. I miss tons of stuff, because of me. I don't surf Facebook very, very often. So if it doesn't pop up in my immediate feed when I open it to when I post something, I might miss it. But I try to hit the like button when I can. I try to share certain things when I can, depending on what it is. And especially if it's someone that promotes me, I try to make sure I promote them too as often as I can. But it's also about tapping into those fans, because when I share someone else's content, it's going to show on their page that I shared it. And then their fans may click on my page. Who is this guy? Who's this William guy that shared out so-and-so's art or shared out his Kickstarter? And then they go to my page. Oh, okay. He does this. Oh, he does this. I've had tons of friends invites because of connections like that. So it's all about a continuous networking procedure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You can't make nobody share nothing. You can't make nobody comment. And I get that. I don't want to make anybody do anything. I want people to share. I would love for you guys to share the content we do, because there's a lot of great artists out there, up and comers and indie creators and stuff that deserve tons of light shined on them, because they actually do walk the walk. They don't preach community shit and then never do nothing to uplift community. So there's a lot of people that luckily do walk that walk. But god dang, we get frustrated walking that walk and then everybody else is never joining in. I mean, if you have an artist, or well, we'll say artist for the sake of just talking about cover art. If you have a cover artist who's done a cover for your Kickstarter, you should be sharing out their Kickstarter when they have one. If you are a artist, well, hell, we'll just engage it all. If you're an artist, a writer, an inker, a letterer, a penciler, whatever you did on a book for someone, they should share out your project you've got personally going. Now, I'm not saying they got to share out every project you're a part of, but if you personally have your own Kickstarter, they should share it out. If I've done a cover for you as a retailer and I've promoted your book and I've helped you sell your book and I've, sent fans to your page that way, et cetera, et cetera. When I have my Kickstarter go live, you as a retailer, it should be an automatic, oh shit, William's Kickstarter's live. Let me share that out for William, because I damn sure promote. Anytime I've done a cover for anybody, I go above and beyond what any other artist does. And that's not me trying to pat a back or brag. I just think it's part of my duty. There's certain things I think is part of my job as an artist. And again, I'm not shitting on any artist because this has never really been the trend. When they do a cover for you and the book goes live, they may share out that one post, and then they kind of most don't really do nothing else. Now, some do, but most don't. And that's not shade on them. That's just the way the industry's been forever. The artist does the cover work, and we do the cover reveal when we give permission. And then when the book goes live for sale, we say, hey guys, here's my new cover for so-and-so. Here's the link. Go get it from there. I mean, I do pre-sales for my covers for retailers and so on. I heavily promote the Kickstarters that I'm a part of. Now, luckily, there's people who do that, and I thank you for that. But there's more people that need to be doing it. So, like I say, I look at it as part of my job as being the cover artist, the face of that book at that moment on that book. There's other cover artists, and they're a face of it too. But I'm just saying, I'm referring to the book I did. I'm the cover artist for that book at that moment. I think it's part of my duty to promote it, to help them be successful with it, and then also I back it. That's another thing for you artists and creators out there. If you work on someone's Kickstarter, if they hire you, if they want you to work on that Kickstarter and they pay you to work on a Kickstarter, you need to support the Kickstarter. If you are an artist, a writer, or anyone on a book that is in Kickstarter, you need to go financially back that Kickstarter. I don't give a shit if you just buy your cover, paying that, whatever the price is for that one book, you need to do it. If somebody wants you on their book and they hire you and they pay you to work on their damn Kickstarter and you don't physically back the Kickstarter, for me personally, that says a lot about you. And you won't be on a future Kickstarter for me. And there's a lot of us who feel that way, who look at it the same way. Oh, you're an hour ahead? So just keep that in mind, you new artists. When someone hires you, because there's thousands we could have hired, because we're not afraid to spend the money. You know what I'm saying? We're not looking for discounts. We're not looking for super cheap artists, especially for myself. I can speak for myself. I know I'm not. I'm willing to pay people like Miko. I'm willing to pay people like, I can't name, Anna, since that one's been announced. I'm willing to pay people like Ken Hunt. I'm willing to pay the money for, the Tone Rodriguez. And I'm willing to pay the money for now, to be fair with Tone. Now, Tone opted, he wanted more comps. And that happens sometimes. That's okay. But my point is if it doesn't matter whether you're a little name or a big name, if someone out of all the people they could have chose you, you should show respect, and you should promote the book when the Kickstarter goes live. And you should promote it through the 30 days that it's active, not just one time. And you damn sure should back it financially. Because I can tell you right now, if I pay you to do a cover and you don't promote my book during the Kickstarter, and I mean more than one time, and you don't back the Kickstarter, you won't be on a future book. Because I back them. Every single Kickstarter I have done, I backed financially, unless I accidentally let it slip my mind and thought I backed it and I ran out of time. And I think that's only happened once out of all the Kickstarters that I've done covers for. But guess what? I went and bought the damn book when I saw them at a con. So I still supported it. Yeah, oh yeah, I totally get that, Nita. Like even fans, I get it. I can't do it. So I know I can't expect everyone else to share everything every day all the time. It just doesn't work that way. Newsfeed gets buried by algorithm bullshit with I get it. Totally. And plus, when you have, 1,500, 2,000, 4,000 friends on Facebook, it all gets buried. So that's okay. But there's no way in hell, whether you're an artist, a fan, or anyone on someone's friends list, there's no way in hell 30 days can go by of talking about a Kickstarter, whether it's when you're posting about it, you're doing videos about it, etc., etc. There's no way in hell you didn't see it during that entire time. At that point, you're choosing not to. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we don't want people to spam. Let's talk about Kickstarters. We're not, or even retailer cover drops. We don't want people to spam. We don't want people to flood, everything. If it's a 30-day Kickstarter and you're sharing it, let's say you're part of the project. Not even talking about fans or anything like that. Let's just say you're part of the project, and it's 30-day Kickstarter. You share it on day one, the Kickstarter goes live. Then you can share it again in like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, or you can choose to share it once a week. It doesn't have to be. We don't want you doing it every day because it gets buried in the algorithms. Gets labeled as spam. But yeah, I mean, in a 30-day, 4-week time frame, if you shared it 4 or 5 times, you did awesome. You did great in our mindset. That's beautiful. But if you share it one time and you don't say shit else for the 30 days, it's kind of shitty. It really is. It's kind of shitty. Yeah, exactly. But like I said, the other flip side to it is if you're part of a project, you need to back it financially, even if it's just grabbing your own cover. I've done it many times. I look at a Kickstarter. I don't really see any of the covers I'm into. I'll just buy my cover, or I'll buy the blank. Usually I'm buying the blank is what I'm usually buying. But if you're, like I said, if this is the way it works. Now, if you're a big name, as much as I'd love you to back the Kickstarter, I'm not concerned with that because you're bringing your fans to the table. You get what I'm saying? But if you're someone, that's kind of new, or you don't have a major fan base yet, you don't have tons of titles under your book, under your name to where people are buying your books, etc. The least you can do, because we chose you for whatever reason, out of the thousands we could have chose, show us that a bit of appreciation by promoting the book and by backing the book. Hell, I've got a solid following and I still back Kickstarters. Now I'm no Miko, I'm no Miko by any, stretch of the means. So I'm not going to expect Miko to back my project. Miko's fan base will back my project. You get what I'm saying? There's a trade-off there. But, there's got to be. I'm paying you to do the job, but I'm also giving you copies of the book too when it comes out. That's money out of my pocket. The least you can do is go back to Kickstarter. And before anyone chimes in that, oh, that's part of the payment. No, it's not most of the times, because I make that offer. I go, hey, do you want full payment for your artwork? Or do you want a bit of a discount for your artwork, but you get more comps? Now, me personally, I automatically give 5 comps to, 5 to 10 comps to everyone that works on the project, regardless of what they choose. When they choose a cheaper cost, I'll send them, 15 or 20 comp copies of the book, depending on what they do. And yeah, sometimes I have to wait for those to be reprinted because, printers will miscount books. So sometimes I have to ship those out later, which is also on my dime too. So, I mean, so usually most Kickstarters, I'm not saying all, most will give like 5 comp copies to an artist, if they're paying full price for their artwork. Some artists will opt for, hey, don't give me no money. Just send me like, 15, 20 comps of the book. Because they'll take the book to cons and they'll sell them suckers for like $20, $25 a pop, even though it's an indie book, because they have a following, Miko, those comp books I gave Miko, which I gave him like 15 or something like that, 20, something like that. I can't remember. I guarantee you he's already sold out of those. They go quick when you have a solid following. So he made great money off those books, I'm sure. And that's not counting, if he charges the sign, that's not counting for the price of remarks or whatever the case may be. So yeah, you as a artist, if you work on a project, show the project some gratitude because they chose you and back it. Like I said, it doesn't cost you that much to back a single book on a Kickstarter. They're not asking you to go buy, some major tier or something like that. You can just grab your cover or grab one book, because these indie books cost us a shitload of money to do. I mean, Psycho Sal cost me about $5,000 without blinking an eye on every single book, and because we doing proper quality, etc. So it is not cheap. We're not creating these books. That $1,000 goal. So let me educate you guys on this, because you might be looking at the Kickstarter. Well, now Williams is only saying $1,000 goal to reach, but so and so is saying $20,000. Okay, I can only speak for myself on my book. The reason I can put $1,000 goal to fund is not because it costs $1,000 to make Psycho Sal. Yeah, I can put that because I'm of the mentality Psycho Sal will be printed whether it gets the support from the fans or not, which means I 100% pay for my book before it ever goes into Kickstarter. So everybody's paid, everything is done. When we turn the Kickstarter on for Psycho Sal, it is 98, 99% done. The only thing that's being tweaked is maybe a little bit of lettering, or something like that. That's it. Everything else is done. The artwork's done, the inking's done, the color's done, the writing's done, etc., etc. The covers are done. When we turn that damn Kickstarter on, it is almost 100% done. Very, very little minor shit is being tweaked at that point. So the minute that the Kickstarter's over and the funds are collected, which takes about 4, 5, 6, 7 days, once that's done, the book goes to print right then. So that's why it says $1,000 on it, because I don't give a shit about the funding. It's going to be printed one way or another. Now, luckily, knock on wood, Psycho Sal's been such a big hit, and you guys have been such incredible damn fans with supporting it that, I've made back my $5,000 to $6,000 that I've invested in each book, thanks to you guys. Now, do I want to hit 10,000, 15,000? Yeah, I do. But if I tailored my Kickstarter to reflect other books in Kickstarter with the same type of lane of popularity, so to speak, and was doing pricing like they did, I would already be doing 10,000. But, we tried to keep the book super affordable for everyone. Now, on issue number 5, I'm going to be tweaking some of the prices, because at the end of the day, this is a business. And so, I've done 4 issues of Psycho Sal. Technically, half the print run for this first go, because it's 9 issues. I've done half of it as super damn affordable. You know, $6 books, $8 books, $10 books, $50 foils and $50 all cover bundles, etc., etc. I've done stupidly affordable on 4 Kickstarters. Now on the next Kickstarter, because I'm bringing in some bigger names on number 5 also, I'm going to tweak those prices. They're going to go up a little to reflect, not going up for greediness, going up to reflect the level of popularity that I have as an artist and that Psycho Sal has as an IP. Now, I'm not price gouging even in that scenario compared to what some people do. It'll still be in the normal range, but it is going to be a bit higher than $8 books and $6 books and shit like that. I've got to I need to start hitting that 10K, 15K to where I'm actually making solid profit. And don't get me wrong, I'm super proud of the profit I've made off the last 3 issues before this Kickstarter. This one's still going, so I can't comment on it where it ends. But I've made very good money on issues 1, 2, and 3, considering we did it off of $6, $8, $10 books, which is unheard of in, mostly in the indie Kickstarter world. I mean, most books start at $15 and $20, and then all the others are $50 and $100 and, $300, one-offs. And I'm not dogging that. I'm just saying we've kind of done things a bit different, not only with Psycho Sal, but Charter Comics in general has done that too. Well, now I got to start tweaking it a little bit to more reflect what I actually have going on with my fan base and the popularity of Psycho Sal. Then, like I said, it's not about greediness. I have to start making profit on these and not just breaking even with what I spent to create it. Like I said, I've done that for 4 books, the previous 3 Kickstarters and the current one. Super affordable. But, these last, 5 books, I got to start, last 5 books, I got to start looking at it a little bit more from a business standpoint. Gets my old SUV. Yeah, there you go. Hey, if you want to buy it, you guys are welcome to buy it. I got it for a great price posted. I'm not trying to price gouge it. It's like a almost $8,200 blue book. You guys are welcome to buy it. I think I've got it posted for like $7,500. You guys can make an offer on it. Put that in as a stretch goal. There you go. So make sure you guys are doing that. Make sure you guys are sharing these Kickstarters, because there's a lot of great Kickstarters, man. There's a lot of great indie creators out there that deserve to be shared and have a little light shined on them. Super, super cool people, super supportive. Yeah, that's right, Nita. Yeah, I mean, it's all expensive. Like, I'm not shitting you. I could show you the numbers from hiring guest cover artists, to paying to have the book created, to the printing, to the shipping, the whole 9 yards. Like, I can show you the numbers. Now don't get me wrong. You could do it a little cheaper than what myself is doing it for with the creation process. I'm doing mine a little bit different on quality and stuff, a little higher. So it costs me a little bit more money. But yeah, it's every single book is averaged anywhere between 5 to 6K. Creating comics is not cheap by any stretch of the means. And I have to do it this way because, could I save money by drawing the interiors myself? Definitely. But it would take longer for the book to come out if I had to do it. In my free time, which I don't really have tons of. So I don't want to make people wait, because I like the story. I want it out there. I love the concept of the character. I love the way we're doing the character. It's never been done in comics that we're aware of. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, yeah, shipping is ridiculous, insane right now. And for those that may not understand what I'm referring to with Psycho Sal, for those that could, be tuning in that don't know what that is, Psycho Sal's my creator-owned IP. And it's about a serial killer in New Orleans in the 1980s. And the way we're writing the story is super damn unique and cool as hell, in my opinion. And like I said, as far as I know, and the people we've talked to and the searching we try to do, we haven't found anyone that's done this. It's 9 issues on the first go for a reason. The first 3 books are all written from the perspective of the lead FBI agent working the murders. When we get to issue 4, 5, and 6, we changed perspectives, and now you're experiencing and seeing everything that's happening because it's all the same time frame. You're experiencing everything that's happening through the eyes of one of the victims. When we get to issue 7, 8, and 9, we change that perspective again. Now you're seeing and experiencing everything through the eyes of Psycho Sal himself. And one of the other cool things we've done is to help sell that feeling, that concept, is we change writers. So, Chris Hayes, which is an incredibly talented indie writer, he wrote issues 1, 2, and 3 and did an incredible damn badass job. We've brought on Lori Calcaterra. She's writing 4, 5, and 6, the female victim's perspective. So, because, I could tell, I could go in and tell a writer, hey, okay, this is a new perspective. So you need to kind of write it this way. And while they could accomplish it, a writer still writes the way they write. They are who they are. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't feel, now to the normal reader, they probably wouldn't have noticed. And it's probably something that I didn't have to do. Like most people probably wouldn't even have noticed at all. But we really wanted to sell that concept, and change that writer so everything about it felt different, because every writer writes different. And that's something else. We did write this uniquely as something that could possibly be, some type of show, with the, and keeping it interesting and fresh. And then when we get to, like I said, we'll bring in, we're going to bring in Chris, though, again, for the last 3 books of this series, of this particular run of the series, because Chris started this journey off with me. I gave him my ideas, my concepts, what I needed to happen in the book, who the character, I gave him all this information. And then Chris took that and filled in all the gaps, filled in all the dots, and turned it into this very cool ass, badass book and concept with me. And so I'm bringing Chris back on, even though technically, I would, probably use another artist for Psycho Sal, but I think it's only fitting. And I was going to do that at first, use someone else. But to be honest with you, I think it's only fitting to bring Chris back in, because if it had not been for Chris willing to work with me, deal with my, pain in the ass, constantly asking questions and constantly, let's do this. As the idea grew in my head, he worked with me on that. He made changes. He helped make this possible. And then writing it in between all the other shit he was writing, because Chris was writing tons of other books. So, he didn't have to take this project on. But, the fact he did, and the fact that he made it incredible, I wanted to bring Chris back on for the last 3 books, because I've gotten PMs from writers that know the concept of what we're doing with the book, that they want to write Psycho Sal. Man, look, if you need an artist a writer for the last 3 books, man, please let me know. I've read the book, or either I understand the book and I know the concept, and I really want to write Psycho Sal's perspective. Like, I've gotten PMs from writers like that. But I truly think that that particular storyline needs to be closed out by the person that helped make it possible. So Chris is going to come back on and write 7, 8, 9. And I'm super excited about that, because, I'm going to turn Chris loose. I'm going to give him my notes of the things that need to happen, key points that need to happen in the book, but I'm going to turn Chris loose. And because I want Psycho Sal to continue, because he's, with issues 4, 5, and 6, you saw a little bit of it in issue 3, but in 4, 5, and 6, you really get to see how twisted, how unlikable, Psycho Sal is. So, we want to make sure, that we want to continue that creepiness. We don't want, because, crazy enough, fans of horror, it's real easy for them to get attached to the killer, and we want you to like the killer in the sense like, holy shit, I like this book, or I like this concept. But a lot of people they kind of start siding with the killer, okay, I get why Jason's killing all these little shitty ass people, these self-absorbed ass people, or Freddy, they get attached to Freddy because of his personality. We didn't want that, we don't want that to happen with Psycho Sal. We want it to stay creepy. We want it to stay uncomfortable, because of who he is, being a serial killer, and then the other thing we've done with the book that is unique is we've broken the mold on what a serial killer is. Normally serial killers have always fit into a profile. They hunt a certain way. They, by killing a certain way, and how they hunt. They only hunt certain types of people, whether it's a male or a female, or whether it's this person with this color hair or whatever. Like, they always hunt a certain way. So, and in certain environments and things like that. So Psycho Sal, there's no patterns. There's no nothing for him to fit into. It doesn't matter. When you first start the book, you're already like, what is it, 4 murders in, and every single murder is different. And they're not only different by how the murder was, the torture and the murder was done, but also the victims are different. It doesn't matter to him what color you are. It doesn't matter to him what sex you are. It doesn't matter to him whether you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter to him whether you're young or old. And so we've broken that mold that allows it easier to find someone. If it hadn't been for his calling card that he left at every one of the murders, they wouldn't even have known it was a serial killer because of the murders being different in themselves. Yeah, dude, knock it out, throw it up, sell it, man. Take one of the blanks. If you have it back, which I don't know who all's backed the Kickstarter. I don't look to see who all's backed it. If you're an artist that worked on the Kickstarter, if you haven't backed it, you need to get your ass over there and back it. I'm just going to put it blunt. And if you are an artist, grab the damn blank that's on there. It's like, what, $8? $6, $8, $10, whatever the hell the blank is. I think it may be 10. Go grab the blank. Draw Psycho Sal on it, man. Throw it on your damn page as a raffle. Make you some money off of it. Throw it on there as original art to sell for a solid price. Whatever you want to do. I don't have an issue. If you want to draw Psycho Sal and you want to sell it on a sketch cover or something, knock yourself out. I don't have an issue with it. The only thing I care about is just please don't try to turn him into some damn, t-shirt or throw him on a cup or any of that shit. I don't even give a shit if you draw him and throw him on your print wall at a Comic-Con, as long as it has the title on it. Now, I don't want you drawing my character, because no one knows who Psycho Sal is. And it's not like you're drawing Wolverine. They know who Wolverine is. They know where they can go buy Wolverine books. If you want to draw Psycho Sal, a badass, cool-ass picture of Psycho Sal, and you want to sell it as a print, you want to sell it as a metal, I don't give a shit. I'm cool with that, because that's more eyes on my character. The only catch is it has to have the logo on it, Psycho Sal. That has to be on the design, because again, no one knows who the character is outside of my fan base, So that's the only thing I say. You don't got to pay me. You don't got to give me no percentage. You don't got to do shit. You can make a print. You can make a metal print. You can draw him on a sketch cover. You ain't got to give me shit. Just give me the damn respect that Psycho Sal name is on the artwork. Now, obviously, if it's on a blank, it's going to be on the book. But on a print or metal print or whatever the hell it is you want to do. I'm okay with that. Just do not do it without Psycho Sal written across it with the title logo. And if you need the title logo, you can ask McLean for it. But I mean, you should be able to draw it. I mean, that's the only thing. I'm not one of the people that's going to go chasing you down like, hey, I need a percentage of that. I'm not, because it's more eyes on my IP. See, contrary to what some people are doing, like, oh, you better not touch my IP. No, that's stupid. That is stupid. That's why the companies allow us to draw their IPs and sell prints and sell commissions, because it helps spread the word, because there are going to be some people that don't know about some characters. Just like I said, case in point with The Bat Who Laughs. That's happened a lot just to me at Comic-Cons, where people go, who the hell is that? Oh, that's The Bat Who Laughs. I was like, you never heard of the... No, man, I don't know who that is. Oh, shit. Let me tell you who The Bat Who Laughs is. And then I tell them about the story. And the last words that come out of their mouth, okay, man, thank you so much. I am definitely going to go find that trade paperback. I just sold a book for DC. You see how this shit works? So the same thing applies to your own IP as an indie creator. If someone wants to draw him, let them draw him. If they want to throw the character on a print and sell it at their booth, let them. Just make sure they, in my opinion, the only rule, you got to put the name of the book on your print. Like, it has to say Psycho Sal on it with the character. Has to, because that is going to let someone know that that's related to something specific. And they're, hey, what's Psycho Sal? And then you go, oh shit, Psycho Sal's this book William Russell created. It's about a serial killer in New Orleans. Man, you should go check him out. That's what you do. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys now. Don't create Psycho Sal stuff with the intention of me using it for something. I don't want anybody wasting their time and their money and effort for something that I may not can use or may not, because I try. One of the trends you may have noticed with my books is I try to use different people every time, because I'm trying to shed light on other creators. Now, I'm not saying I would never bring someone back for a guest cover. It's just with Psycho Sal, again, I do things a little different. There's 2 guaranteed spots on Psycho Sal for guest artists. There's 2 guaranteed spots. One is for someone who's never been published, and one is for someone who has a completely different, unique style than mine. Those spots are locked in on every single issue that I pick someone, because I think it's about sharing your platform with other people. Every single one of Psycho Sal's books has had one artist on it that has never been published. And the art, some of it's great, some of it's cool, some of it's so-so. It happens, but they're new artists. They're going to learn, they're going to grow. But my point is they never had an opportunity. And I'm a true damn believer that if you have a platform, you should be given at least one opportunity to one person that may never get it, or that may not get it till later. It doesn't hurt you. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're slapping 20 damn covers on your damn Kickstarter, in my personal opinion, one should be someone who's never been published, because you should be giving back to the community that helped make you. Well, no, I mean, we do have an artist boycott. I won't do covers for anyone using AI. There's already, and most artists agree with that. So we already have a boycott. If you're a retailer doing it, we won't work with you. If you're an indie creator doing it, we won't work with you. So we already have the boycott. We just need the fans to step up and not purchase books that are AI. Now, to be fair, they don't know in a lot of cases, which is why it's so important for us to talk about it, share the information. When, Sean or Anna or any of these other people post examples, this is what AI looks like, this is what you look for, we need to share the shit out of it. So, what's up, Chris? Nobody's arguing that anybody has a fan base generated off of AI art. But I'll go ahead and tell you this right now, Chris. You're already fucking wrong. And you know why you're wrong? Because there's already AI books floating around that people have bought. So there's your wrong statement right out the gate. Because people, because your statement of real people have something AI can never have is presence, which you're right about. True fans are going to buy stuff they want to have physically. But the reason you're fucking wrong in the overall statement, about buying is because there's already some books floating around retailers that got busted using AI art where they were selling them for inflated prices. So there you go. So there we go. Glad I was able to help you understand that and fix that problem for you. And it's not about steal. We're not concerned someone's taking something from us. Y'all got to stop with that bullshit ass claim. It ain't got shit to do with fear of someone taking jobs or fear of someone taking our essence or fear of someone taking anything or fear of new technology. It's about the unbelievable reach of their data, and they're scraping the internet and stealing people's work without permission. So there you go. I'm glad I was able to help you with that. And now we got it figured out and you can go on with your day and have a wonderful experience with life. I'm glad we could fix that for you. When you have retailers using an AI generated image and slapping it on a book and lying to the fan base saying that some artist drew it, that's the problem. Oh, it 100% devalues. I mean, like I said, it's one of those unique things. It not only affects us in general, but it affects fan base too, because it affects the value of the book. Once people find out that, the book is AI generated and falsely claimed as not, that's going to leave a shitty taste in a lot of fans' mouths, which hurts sales, makes them weary to do new stuff. It's a domino effect. And like I said, you're welcome to do it. You're welcome to use it. You're welcome to do you. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to make you not do something. I'm just telling you it's a hard line in the sand for a lot of us, from retailers to artists and creators to Comic-Con promoters who have taken a hard stance against it. So you do you, boo-boo. And the reason you're not seeing someone buy AI, as far as a collector's standpoint of art, the reason you're not seeing people buy AI over an original, drawn piece is because at that point you're buying a print. Who the fuck in their right mind is going to pay, $100 to $800, give or take, for a print? So that's why you don't see that being sold that way. What people are trying to do is they're trying to sneak it into cover jobs to where they're, trying to front to the retailer that, oh, I drew this, and pay me my $800 for cover work when you typed in 10 words in a prompter and spent 20 minutes doing it or 5 minutes. See, that's the issue, because some retailers don't know, and then there's some people that do know and they're trying to scam it. So nobody gives a shit. None of us are concerned about fans wanting an AI print over our hand-drawn pieces of art. None of us are concerned with that shit. So you're jumping in, making a comment about something ain't nobody worried about. What we are concerned about is our fans that we actually give a shit about not spending their hard-earned ass money buying some indie book that slapped an AI cover on it, or buying and being upcharged, or buying some retailer book that the retailer got lied to by the artist claiming it was AI and it wasn't, etc., etc. That's what we give a shit about. We are not concerned about anybody stealing our original art jobs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you do you, boo boo. You can just, like I say, you guys can try to justify this shit all you want, or try to defend it all you want, or try to, make these statements, like, and you're allowed to have your opinion. I'm not trying to down you for that. I'm just saying it's wrong. You can have an opinion and it be wrong. I mean, I've had plenty of opinions that have been wrong, and find and correct myself later. And what was the regular? Just let me read the rest of it. This becomes another. Oh, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about there. Anyway, but anyway, yeah. So whoever Chris is, you do you, man. Like I said, you're not changing my mind, and and I'm not changing anyone else's mind that's trying to justify it in some form. So, it just is what it is. You do you, we'll do us, and everybody will be happy. But yeah, to answer his question, which I don't know why that question's being even questioned, because nobody is bitching about AI creating a fan base. Nobody's bitching about or showing concern that AI might take our original art job. That'll never happen. I mean, you could argue at some point maybe AI takes over and it could still cover jobs. Sure, that's always a possibility, but it ain't stealing original art jobs. I can still sit at home and draw art for fans and make an incredible living without leaving my home. I can still go to Comic-Cons and sell my originals at Comic-Cons, or sell my prints based off of my original art at Comic-Cons, and still make a great living. AI is not removing artists. That'll never happen, because fans like to have, stuff in their physical hands. And some AI generated print is never going to outshine that. It's just not. Now, don't get me wrong. If you had a guy at a booth selling AI prints, yeah, he'll sell some prints. There ain't no doubt about it, because a lot of people won't know no better, and some people don't care. They just like the art. They don't give a shit where it came from. They don't give a shit if it was stolen or not. They don't care. I mean, it is what it is. But it's still not going to take away from everyone else that's there. So that part right there, we're not concerned about, and we don't give two shits about. That'll never happen. We're not concerned about that one. But saying that, that there's still not an issue is incorrect. Stating that, that's what we're concerned about is incorrect. So like I said, you're welcome to your opinion. It's just that particular statement. It has nothing to do with what we're even talking about. No one is concerned about that shit. What we don't want is people being lied to. I don't know why that's a hard concept for a lot of people to understand. A lot of us really do give a shit about the community. I mean, I get that you're used to people, and I get that the majority of the community probably don't give a shit about the community. I get that. For whatever reason. Competition, pettiness, whatever the hell the case might be. I get that. But there are a lot of us that really do give a shit about the community. There's a lot of us that really do give a shit about the health of the industry. And there's a lot of us who truly give a shit about our fan base, and we not wanting our fan base taken advantage of, lied to, because our fan base is also someone else's fan base. They're not exclusive to me. It's not one of those things where I have to sit back and my fans are in a bubble and I don't have to worry about it. My fans can lose money with every other asshole floating around the industry, just like anyone else can. Whether it's Black Flag lying to people, whether it's, George Vermack lying to people and stealing money, etc., etc. My fans have been affected by lots of other people that have scammed people. So yeah, we're a bit up in arms about it. We're a bit protective because we actually give a shit. And in my personal opinion, when you sit back and you say, I don't give a shit about AI or what it does, that, and you're a creator or an artist or whatever it is you do in this or a seller, and you have that mentality, to me personally, it says you don't give a shit about your fans, that you don't care if they're lied to and misinformed. Now, if they're told the truth, you know, if they're told the truth from the get-go, and they say, hey guys, here's our new retailer exclusive. It is an AI generated art piece. We know some of you don't like that, but this is what we chose to go with. First off, even though I don't agree with it, I can respect that. You had the balls to say it. I can 100% respect that. I won't go to your damn post and bash you. I won't call you out on videos and bash you. I won't say shit negative about you, because at the end of the day, it's you. You do you, boo-boo. It doesn't affect me. What affects me is what affects my fans. And when you lie to them, that affects me. Because now you're creating, when it goes bad or they find out you lied to them, now you've created more doubt in their mind about doing business with people online, about supporting more retailers or indie people. That's what it's about. It's about transparency. It's about being honest. Like I said, if you're honest and you say, here's our cover, whether you're an indie, whether you're a retailer, and you go, here's our cover, it's by so-and-so, or it's by myself, I did it. I decided I didn't really have the money to spend, but I wanted this. I wanted to do it, so I did this, but it's AI generated, so I can respect that. And if fans choose at that point to buy that, I'm not going to bash them. I'm not going to call them out. That's their money. They can spend it however the hell they want to. That's what it's about, when it is what we keep trying to have this conversation of, is the transparency. And even though we can't stop AI, we're not trying to. We just want it in its current form altered to where everyone is removed from their database, and then we have to opt in, not opt out, opt in. Then it's on us to choose, and we're giving the choice. Just like the IPs that we draw for these companies, we're not contracted to. They have the choice to allow us to do it or not do it. And luckily, thank goodness, and thank you to those companies that do, they allow us to do it. They were given the choice. AI hasn't given anyone a choice. That's the damn problem. And again, at the end of the day, I'm done talking about it. This will be the last conversation of it as far as trying to explain it, other than talking about the Senate hearings as they progress. But as far as the back and forth bullshit, I'm not arguing it no more. I'm not trying to explain it, because at this point, I've explained it, Sean's explained it, Anna's explained it, and many, many, many others have explained it. And your people just keep trying to regurgitate the comparison argument, or they try to invent a new argument. I'm just going to block and roll on, because like I said, you do you, and we'll do us. But it's a hard line in the sand. I'm not going to work with someone who's using AI generated images. I'm not going to hire them to do something for me that's doing that. So, and again, I know I'm nobody, but still, movements start with nobodies. So, and that's our movement. So you do you. I don't need you to send me a PM trying to explain it. I don't need you to comment trying to explain it. You do you. And you live with whatever repercussions that may or may not do, but just have the balls to be honest. Give the fans the ability to make an educated decision if they want to support it. Even though, again, we believe it shouldn't be supported at all in its current form. We're not saying it shouldn't ever exist, just in the current form. But I'm still not going to, throw you under a bus or call you out or harass you or talk shit on you because you chose to do it. If you want to choose to do it, do it. It just means I won't work with you, and many others won't. Like I said, anything we choose to do, we have the freedom to choose it, but we also have to live with the consequences of it. So it's that simple. Oh, it could have been a great tool, but they weren't aiming for us. They were aiming for the mass that doesn't do this, that doesn't draw, that just wants to sit in their, pajamas and type in some words and say, look, mommy, I'm an artist now. That's what they were aiming for, and that's what they were meant to be aimed for. The art market is, compared to the mass populace, we're a small smidge in the mass populace of, being professional artists. So we're, them aiming for us, they're aiming at this versus, this, you know what I'm saying? Like there's more money here than it is here, because even here, there may have only been here of artists willing to use it. But yeah, if they were aiming at us, it wouldn't have scraped the internet. It would have been a badass app that you yourself could load your images into and then generate images based off of your artwork. But they weren't trying to aim for us. They weren't trying to make our job easier. They were aiming for the masses that would pay the, what is it, $3, $5 a week or some shit to use it. That's who they were aiming for. And that's who they got. And of course, people want to make the argument, oh, well, you can choose not to scrape. Bullshit. The app, the data is not on the app. The data is on a third-party data collector, and the app pulls from that information that the app is connected to. The data has already been pulled. There is no opting out. That's the problem, because you can't opt out of something when you don't know how opted in you are. And no one was given the chance to opt in. That's why it's theft. That's why you can't argue us drawing Wolverine or drawing Batman and selling prints or selling original artists theft, because the companies know we do it. They see us at Comic-Cons. They walk by our tables. They know that. And that's why they allow it, because it helps push the industry. But they are in the know. It wasn't some magic day that, boom, here's a Comic-Con that no one's ever been to, and every single artist there is drawing Wolverine, Batman, Superman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and the company just now got exposed to it. That's not what happened. But that is what happened with AI prompters. It wasn't a slow progress. It wasn't a, hey guys, we're doing this. If you want to opt out, go ahead and let us know right now before we pull the data. It was boom, data pulled, data pulled, data pulled, data pulled. And then here you go, guys. Here's an app that you can generate your own art starting now. That's the problem. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. There's people out there that don't like us because we do what we do. And then sadly, when there's people like myself or Sean or Anna that just can't sit, like there's a lot of artists, this doesn't matter to them. At the end of the day, they don't really give a shit. And there's people, retailers, at the end of the day, they don't really give a shit. And there's probably some fans. At the end of the day, it's a drop compared to the issues of the world. It's a drop in the bucket, really. It kind of is. And they don't give a shit. But there's some of it, and there's other people that speak out against this too. Not just me and Sean and Anna. There's other people that speak out too. Will do. What the hell are y'all talking about? Oh, never mind, Mr. Comment. But and we can't keep our mouths shut. Whether it's there's no filter between my brain and my mouth. I say what I think, and I share my feelings. I wear them definitely on my sleeve. Everybody knows, if something's bothering me, and I speak out on it. And the sad thing is, we get labeled problems. We get labeled trouble. We get labeled trying to spread drama. This isn't spreading drama. This is trying to spread education and awareness on what to look for, what to watch out for. We're trying to protect the fucking industry, along with all these other artists and retailers that have taken a stance with us. We're trying to protect the actual industry that you are a part of. Whether you're a fan collecting the shit, we're trying to protect the value of your books. Whether you're a creator, indie or otherwise, with companies. We're trying to protect the quality of your books and the value of those. We're trying to protect you as an artist. Do you really think about this? Here you go. Think about this as established artists, people that can draw, people that can paint, people that do covers, that all of a sudden have gotten busted using AI, that have talent, that's been doing this for, years. And all of a sudden now they're jumping on the AI bandwagon because they think it's quicker, which, I mean, technically it is. But my point is, when people find out, all right, the reason they're paying you $500 to draw a cover, $800 to draw a cover, $2,000 to draw a cover. The reason they're paying you that price is because they understand your name. They understand the years and years and years of dedication you put to the industry, and they understand the quality of physical work you're putting into that piece when you're sitting down for 10 hours or 12 hours drawing that cover, give or take. That's why they pay you what they pay you. Do you really? And the same goes for new artists coming into the mix. That's why we get paid the money we get paid to do these covers, because of the work and effort that goes into it. Do you really think that if you roll your happy ass into AI, that someone is going to pay you $500, $600, $800 for that cover when they know it's AI and they know how AI works, because everyone does, and they know you spent all of 10 minutes doing that cover? Hell no. Hell no. It's not going to happen. They're going to pay you $50. They're going to pay you $100. That's what they're going to pay you. So you're about to kill, the value. You're devaluing your work. You're devaluing your time. You're devaluing your name. Because I'm not doing it. If I know you just typed in AI shit and spent 10 minutes on my cover, I'm not paying you $500 for a cover. I'm not paying you $1,000 for a cover. I don't give a shit what your name is. Don't give a shit. Because the sad thing is, especially in the indie world, at the end of the day, I can I could pay 20 grand or some shit and slap Alex Ross on the cover of Psycho Sal, but I can tell you right now, he'll sell about this many books. And it's not because he's got a bad name. Obviously, he's got a great name, but nobody knows who the hell Psycho Sal is. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not like I can slap Alex Ross on Psycho Sal and all of a sudden it's sold 100,000 copies. That shit ain't happening. It doesn't happen. Now, it'll jump up a little because some of his fans have grabbed the book, but it won't really jump up much at all. Because the other sad thing is most big names don't really promote indie books that they would get hired to do a cover for. They'll do a cover reveal and that's the extent of it, and then it gets buried. It just is what it is. So no one in the indie world, a retailer's not going to do it, because same thing goes for retailer. I've seen retailers use big names and they couldn't sell 500 copies of a print run for whatever odd reason. Because a lot of it at the end of the day still falls under that, Marvel DC title. And even on those, I've seen people do retailer exclusives for with a big, a very well-known name and still not sell 500 copies. It just is what it is. You're just because they're a big name, it doesn't mean you're selling books. It just doesn't. Some will, some won't. It happens. Depends on the book, etc. A lot of that plays into it. Depends on who's selling it. A lot of that plays into it. So you jumping on that damn AI bandwagon as someone who can actually create art, you're screwing your own self with a lead pipe. And you're doing it with a goofy ass grin on your face. You got to think farther than 10 minutes in front of your damn face. You got to think about the longevity of it. If the reason plumbers get paid what they paid is because they know what they know. It's because of the time they've spent doing it. It's the work that they do it. Do you honestly think people are going to start paying, like if all of a sudden there was a magic elixir that made everybody be a plumber? Do you think they're going to pay a plumber who went to school, who earned it, who put decades in The same money? No, that price is going to the bottom because everybody can do it. Just like AI, everyone can do it. There's a reason we get paid what we pay, because not everyone can do it. How you can't see that is mind-blowing to me. Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some stuff that happens. I mean, Senate, like if you listen to that, I got to get off here in a little bit. If you listen to that first Senate hearing, it was actually pretty good. It was actually really cool to hear some of the Senate people comment on things that concern them and things that they think should be implemented. I love the fact that, someone were talking about, well, just like, I think her name was Carla, the actual artist, illustrator. She made the comment, about, because the AI guy was like, oh, well, you could just opt out. And she was like, well, it's kind of hard to opt out on something when you don't know how far opted in you are. And she's right. So it was really cool to hear that from the Senate guy. He was like, well, maybe it's maybe this needs to be a situation where you can't just pull from the internet blindly and wait on people to opt out, that maybe it has to be a ruling of you have to have them opt in to get their art used. And I mean, really and truly, that's the only way to do it. At least then we can make an educated choice. We can choose to opt in, because again, we're not scared of technology. We don't have a problem with new product helping make our job easier, because in this industry, time is money, but it's got to make sense. If everybody and their mama can do AI, nobody's going to pay you. Why the fuck would I pay you $500 to do a cover when I can just do the AI cover my damn self and not pay nobody? You see what I mean? And that's what it'll happen. It won't be, oh shit, look, here's so-and-so big name. I can pay him $500 to do an AI cover. Really? Because you could type in the 5 words, 10 words yourself and do your AI cover yourself and save the $500. See, that's what people are wanting. The people arguing for its allowance and use, those are the people that don't want to spend money. They got their little book. They don't give a shit about the fan base, but they don't want to spend no money. So they want to do the AI art themselves and then try to convert it into AI interiors. That's what they want. And then at the end of the day, I'm not paying you $15 for an AI generated book. You spent 20 minutes working on that entire damn book. I'm not paying you $20. I'm not paying you $30. You'll be now you're going to be selling a damn $2 book, and it costs you $2 to print. So that's what it'll end up coming down to. Just to get people to buy it, you'll be selling a $2 printed book for $3 or $4. Because once they find out it's AI and they know you've put zero effort, because here's the thing, technically, you don't even have to put any effort in the lettering either, because the AI can generate the lettering. You don't have to put any effort into the writing, because ChatGPT can write the book for you. You literally just took every bit of value out of what you do. Every bit of it. Every bit. So you keep shooting yourself in the damn foot. And then when you don't have shit that's original and you don't have shit that's worked for, and you can't sell your damn book, that's on you, boo-boo. Don't backtrack then. You stick to that shit. Because there's a lot of artists out here that, like I said, there are no gray areas. It's either you're with us or you're against us. And if you're against us, we will never work with you in any way, shape, or form. We will not promote you. We will not take part in your projects. We will not hire you. As far as I'm concerned, you're a leopard, and you can go live on a little island somewhere and do you. So. That's right. But anyway, back to what I was saying about Kickstarter projects, and then we'll wrap this up. So make sure, if you guys haven't backed Psycho Sal, and if you've worked on Psycho Sal, you better go back my Kickstarter. You better show some love. Don't ever, and that's my personal opinion, you don't got to do anything, But in my opinion, like we talked about earlier, if you're part of a Kickstarter, you need to back it. I keep seeing that recently where I see people part of a Kickstarter, and I'll ask the Kickstarter guy, because I want to know, because I think that's part of our job is to support it. Hey, what's up, Mr. Chris Hayes? Start over. You did miss some good shit, brother. Oh no, you're fine. But that, and again, nobody has to do anything. That's just my personal belief. If I work on a Kickstarter, I back it. I think I've only missed one Kickstarter where I forgot to back the thing before it ran out of time. And I think it was during a month. I was doing a lot of traveling, like 3 shows in 1 month or something, and it just slipped my mind. But when I saw them later, I bought a copy of the book. Because, and I'm not saying I won't ever accidentally forget again in the future, but I damn sure try my best not to. But I also support some Kickstarters I don't have shit to do with. Now, sadly, I've had to stop doing that a lot because they wouldn't even be bothered to share my Kickstarter. Even though I'm not working on it and I spent money on $30, $40 on their Kickstarter, they didn't even bother to share my Kickstarter when it went live. So I had to kind of stop that shit. Yeah, I've got to hire somebody to be my face for social media. My mouth is just, and it's so sad. It's so stupid because the shit we talk about, you would really think that it's just common sense shit and being good to one another. Like when I myself do these rant videos or someone else does a rant post, we're talking about putting each other first, and we're talking about putting fans first, and we're talking about uplifting one another and not allowing thievery and not allowing harassment and bullying and not allowing, stealing from fans or artists. That's all we ever talk about. But yet we get labeled as trouble, and not by the masses, of course. It's just key people that want to run their mouth, because they don't want, and now we know why they run their mouth. We know why they call us trouble. We know why they try to spread negative shit about us, because we are who we are. We are where we are. We've reached the goals that we've wanted to reach so far, and we're going past those goals, and we're shining a little bit, and that pisses them off because they're not. But the reason they're not is because it's not because they're less talented, or anything like that. They just don't want to put in the work. We sacrifice a shitload for you guys and for this industry. You've heard me talk about it before, from time away from friends, time away from family. We don't get to sit around going to the movies all the time. We don't get to sit around and play Call of Duty. We don't get to do any of that kind of shit. We're not sitting on Fortnite all night long. We don't get to do none of this shit because we spend almost all of our waking moments doing this. And I'm not complaining about that. I love it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. I go back to my insurance world and make 3 times the money I make doing this. And without batting an eye. We do this because we do love it. We do this because we love the fans. We really do care about the community. And that's why we speak up. I personally, and that's not me trying to be like better than anybody. It's just, I have no filter and I take it personal. Even though it doesn't affect me, I take it personal when someone's stealing from my fans. There's lots of other people that take it personal because you're damaging the industry. When you're a retailer or an artist, and if you're an artist and you take commissions and you don't fulfill those damn commissions, and then you start ghosting people, that affects me as an artist, whether you believe that shit or not, which you would have to be an idiot not to really see that picture. It affects me because of this key phrase that I've seen people post on posts where some artist got called out. Oh yeah, he's been promising my commission for 3 years and now he won't answer my PMs at all. The very next statement someone will make, yep, that's one of the main reasons why I no longer do commissions over the internet. And that's a lot of our business. I do tons of shows like a lot of other artists, and we do commissions at those shows. but we do a lot of at-home commissions and we ship. So you doing that affects me because you're leaving a shitty taste in the fan's mouth to where they may not ever do that. Then the other one as a retailer or a seller, when you're taking someone's money and then you ghost them without shipping their product, or you don't ship their product, not only is it screwing yourself over in the long picture, but again, you're screwing fans off, which makes them not want to spend money with a different retailer. It's all a domino effect that affects everyone. I mean, it's 100% a multiverse streaming kind of thing. Everything you do affects the next person. I don't understand why selfish ass people can't comprehend that. How do you not see even from a money only standard, a money only, that's all I give a shit about viewpoint? How do you not see that in the long picture? You're screwing people over now. Why? So you can vanish in 3 months because everybody's called you out and then you disappear for a while and come back, right? Which is what they do. And then sadly, some of you fans run right back to him. Well, I thought he had changed. He hasn't changed shit but his damn stinky ass underwear once a week. That's about the extent of their changing. But that's what happens. How do you not see the long view? Oh man, if I ship on time, if I'm good to the fans, if I give them good deals, and show that support, that's going to go here, that's going to go there. They're going to tell their friends, their friends, their friends, their friends. Next thing you know, I got $1 million a year retailer. How do you not see that? You're over here playing in small peanuts. Oh, $2,000, $5,000. $3,000, $1,000, and then I got to vanish for 4 months because I screwed people because I'm shit ass person. Like, again, even if you're just looking at it from the pure money aspect, how do you not see that? Same goes with artists. How do you not see that? That the more fans you make happy, the more fans you deliver in reasonable time frames for commissions means more return customers, which means more money in your pocket. How the hell do you not grasp that? Same thing goes with how you treat them, at shows and stuff like that. I get you're tired. I get you've had a long weekend. You partied too hard last night because you think you're a damn rock star. I get it. But how the hell can you stand there and act shitty to a fan that spent their money to get in the door, that spent their time to come to your table, that has spent money? Obviously, if they're coming to the table, they're already a fan, so they've already spent money on your merch in some way, fashion, or form, and they're there to spend more money on you. How the hell can you possibly sit there and act shitty to somebody? And I've seen some of you do it. I've seen some of you be dismissive and rude. And I don't get it. But anyway, that's a conversation for a whole nother time. But like I said, whether it's AI or whether it's just business in general, I don't get how people can only see 10 feet in front of their face. AI, if you continue to push AI, it is going to devalue everything you do. It's going to devalue the resales of the books. It's going to devalue the upfront sales of the books, because you can't charge people $30 for a book that's got AI art. Once they know it, they're going to stop. Because they know what they know. You spent 10 minutes on it, and I'm not paying you for 10 minutes. I'm not giving you $500 for 10 minutes of your time. It ain't happening. And that's the way the majority of people see it. A retailer is not going to pay you $500 for a cover for 10 minutes, because even if you have a big name, that does not equal sales. It just doesn't. I know that may sound odd, but it's true. In the variant world, that does not guarantee sales. I've seen retailers hire, this person up here to do a retailer book, 500 print run or a 3,000 print run for Marvel DC, and then put the book out there and it doesn't sell for shit. They lost money on it. I've seen it happen. So nobody's going to pay you that. Again, why? Why would they need to do it? Let me pay you $500, $800, $900 for your name cover, and you're generated in 10 minutes on AI, and then I got to risk putting it on the cover and hope it sells, where I just, and I got to pay for printing, and which with those companies you pay for printing up front, so you're already out that money, and then you got to pray that it sells once you have the books in hands. Why would I do that? I can just do the damn cover myself. Problem solved. And I may not save no money on the printing per se, but I just saved, anywhere between, $400, $500, $600, $700 to $1,000 or more on paying you. Because sadly, in the variant world, especially with AI style art, that cover will sell just as well as probably, in that scenario as what your name would, because that's just the way variants are. The name doesn't guarantee sales. I know that sounds strange, but it doesn't. Just because I slap so-and-so on a cover on a retailer variant does not mean I'm going to sell 3,000 copies. It doesn't even mean I might sell 1,000. It just is what it is. So you keep that shit in mind as you keep promoting AI as an artist or as a creator. You're going to devalue everything you do across the board, and no one is going to pay you. I know I'm not. I'll just type in the damn 5 words myself and be done with it. If that's the case, I'm not paying you $500 for 5 words. We're not playing. I don't pay $100 a minute for a sketch. I don't pay $100 for a signature, and I'm not paying you $500 to type in 4 or 5 words in an AI prompter. It's not happening. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. I got shit tons to do this morning. I got to get a bunch. The last 4 or 5 boxes for Psycho Sal number 3 Kickstarter are going out the door this morning. We finally got those not reprints because they shorted me on those books, but we got those shortages in Saturday. So I've got those. They're in the boxes right now, so they're ready to go out the door. I've got a little bit of art I'm about to ship to some of you guys here in a little bit too. I'm going to the post office in just a few minutes. For those of you that have taken a stance with the artists, creators, whether it's music or whatever style art it is versus AI in its current form, thank you. We really do appreciate it. The ones of you that have shared like Sean's post or even my post about it, or shared Anna's posts along with other people, thank you. And for the retailers, the indie creators, the Comic-Con promoters who have taken that hard stance, in the sand with us on it, thank you to you guys also. And for you guys that keep trying to explain why it should be allowed, I don't give a shit. You do you, and we're fine. You just live with the repercussions if you use it. Okay? Don't cry a river later. Don't bitch and moan how nobody's hiring you or nobody's buying your product. Don't say shit when it happens later. Okay? You just do you, and you stay you. Okay? For the ones that are using it, don't lie about it. Because we're going to notice. There's too many of us that know what to look for in AI generated images, that we know how to call it out. You're going to get busted. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no, maybe I can slip it through. No, that's not happening. You're going to get caught. You're going to get outed. And now you're outed as a liar and someone who misrepresents what they do to fans. So if you're going to use it, just have the balls. Say I used it. Be transparent and let fans make a decision. If they support you at that point, it's whatever it is, okay? But just be honest and be open. Don't do no more of the misleading bullshit, because you are 100% going to get busted. And now you got to backtrack. Now you got to try to lie more to try to back yourself until you get outed even more. And now you just look like a thief. You look like a lying thief. Whereas if you'd have just been upfront, people could have made an educated decision. Some would have been irritated. Some wouldn't have said shit. No big deal for the overall. It is what it is. Just be honest. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. If you haven't backed Psycho Sal number 4, Kickstarter's active. Please show some love to it and share it out. For the retailers I promote, I mean, I know you don't need my promoting. I'm just asking for a favor. If I promote you, if I share your live feeds, or if anybody does it, share out their content, show some love in return. Because whether you think we're nobodies or not, we still have fans that have been exposed to you because of us, that have bought stuff from your live shows because of us, whether you want to admit to that or not. But show us some love, because a lot of us promote you guys, you other artists that we promote, other Kickstarters that we shared out that we're not even a part of, and the ones we've backed that we've been a part of. Show us some love too, and especially the retailers we've done covers for. We've helped you make a name. We've helped you make money. Show us a little love. Share out the Kickstarter on your page that we're doing. Hell, back it. That would show a lot of love. It's time for people to, hey, come on, it's time to do a little back scratching. We did for you, now kind of do for us. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day. I love you. You're badasses, and I will talk to you later.